uh, 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 uh. Wow, I can hardly play for a gawking at the guitar.
No, I know it's the guitars are distracting
No, good.
when you play them.
Absolutely.
But I really what I wanted to talk to you about. I mean, so these are just new colors, but the Soho, has been around, and you've really gotten to know the guitar for, the last couple of years now. So because you were playing the prototype before it came out for a while. So I would just love to take some time in this kind of setting to really just hear what about the Soho do you love, and what, the goals you had when designing this, how have they come to life, with this guitar?
Well, I mean, it's a great question. The idea, initially, I wanted to see if I could become comfortable playing a small body guitar for all the obvious advantages. Lightweight, easy to carry, versatile sound because of, a fully hollow chamber, but still a smaller box, so less feedback, less issues.
And just to cut you off, I mean, you were someone that, when I grew up listening to you and seeing you play, it was like you were always playing these big,
full 17-inch
guitars. So what,
Uh-huh.
so this was really the goal was really to make something that had that, but was smaller. Like
I needed something that felt that moved the air the same way. It had the breadth and the depth in its tone the same way, but also with easier playability.
Yeah.
And also just logistics. Going to the airport, trying to get on the plane with a hollow body, is gotten difficult. So this guitar is just what I did not expect was how much more focused the sound would be.
Right.
I think I probably over the last year or so been more in love or more satisfied, at least, with my own sound than I've ever been in my life. I played some beautiful guitars, but it's the style, the size, the electronics,
Right.
the way that everything came together in such a way that I've really been able to get to the core of the sound that I imagined in my ear.
Right.
And it's still growing.
And being able to bring it anywhere you want easily. And I mean, what's amazing is also just Mark is such a veteran in the jazz guitar community, and the amount of other guitarists that have the Soho in their arsenal, D'Angelico artists, gigging musicians around the city or Europe or elsewhere, and just amazing to see, the embrace of this design, across our brand and
Sure, that also touches on one of my other, quiet goals was to experience the same sort of acknowledgement for the design of the instrument, like George did for his famous Ibanez.
Right.
Something that every guitarist wanted to play because it sounds great, it looks great, it's versatile, and I think we've done that.
Yeah, I mean, totally. And then for those who don't know the model too well, this is our SS shape. It's 15 inches wide. And inside, you just have a post under the bridge here. So the whole guitar is hollow, even though it may look like a semi-hollow guitar.
Yes.
And, that's what gives it, when we were just playing that blues, I mean, that's what really gives it that focused tone, I think, that Mark is talking about.
It's
And
full and rich, but it's also focused and easy to follow, yeah.
I would say another thing to note about the Soho is just the sheer amount of ebony that's on this guitar.
I know, it's awesome.
Starting with, actually, the headstock is even, the headstock plate is ebony.
Yep.
Fingerboard ebony, which I know you really like.
Oh, yeah, gotta have it.
Just a little bit of a brighter, more sustain, more articulation.
Yeah.
Floating ebony bridge.
Which
ebony,
also adds to the sustain and the clarity of articulation, for sure.
Absolutely. And then ebony pickguard, ebony knobs.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
And
don't forget the my personal favorite, locking tuners. Once I discovered those, you just can't live without them.
Yeah.
They're super precise in terms of the way that the guitar tunes up, and it holds perfectly. Yeah.
Totally. And one thing I wanted to ask you, I noticed that you do, because this is only a single floating pickup. It's this beautiful Kent Armstrong pickup, but it's still such a versatile guitar, even just with that simple configuration. And something I've noticed that you do a lot is use the volume knob to kind of get different, to bring out different colors of the guitar. Could you speak to that, or maybe show us a couple of things?
Sure. Well, both. I mean, I remember spending time with George Benson early on when I was young, and he talked a lot about Grant Green's tone concept. Grant just cranked all the knobs up and went for it.
Right.
Which is one very particular sound. You can hear the. If you can get a warm, sort of pretty sound out of the instrument with the pickups wide open, then you're way ahead of the game. Because you got a tone boost. If I play the same thing, right, at full volume, or it's not just softer, it's also a little warmer, a little rounder. And I think, the amp and my effects change, they all respond differently to the amount of signal you're putting out. And I noticed that also I hit the guitar pretty hard.
Yeah.
I always have. In fact, I've even
You're a very dynamic
going back to using lighter picks to be kinder to my instruments.
Right.
But the great thing about this guitar is you can't you can't overplay it. Sometimes you bear down the guitar and you can hear the sound choke.
Right.
And this
and it's
is,
still, I mean, even when you play dynamically like that.
But back to your question about different volume settings. Down here at what would be like 3 or 4, it almost sounds like a mic'd acoustic guitar. And the same thing. Such a wide range.
Even just playing back by the bridge,
Yeah, there's so much tone available because the guitar is so alive. The chamber is vibrating. You can feel it. I remember touching a 1938 D'Angelico at Rudy's years ago, and he's like, "Just try this," and you could just feel the headstock vibrate. That happens here, and so we did it, man.
You did it.
Well, no, we did it. Team effort. But I love it. You gotta let me play that one now.
Yeah. Why don't we switch it up?
All right, beautiful. All right, go ahead. So it was really important that the guitar feel even, and I play high, so I wanted it to be comfortable, and that the weight felt even, not off center. It's really evenly balanced, which gives me freedom. You know, I can play across the fretboard in different registers with ease, almost like playing up and down a keyboard, because it's well balanced. It's just the scale is such that everything is very comfortable and easy to grab. And the other thing, even really some of the classic vintage guitars have dead spots and places that you tend to avoid because you're not sure what's going to happen. From the tone. But here. There's no place on the neck that I have to avoid.
Right, and the way you play, it would come out if there was.
Oh, sure, I'm going to expose it if it's bad. And, that's true.
No, and that's just another thing. I mean, with the SS shape, it's evolved over the years, and we have really worked on that, weight distribution and getting the weight of the headstock to the body ratio correct, and it's just great to see it, all come together on this model. I would love if you can just, end by just playing a little bit of solo guitar, because it's some of my, Mark's always known. I've known Mark for just being someone who could play some of the fastest jazz lines around, and but when in the rare times, and I saw you at the at Dizzy's Club recently, you were playing some. You did a little break in the set, and you did a little solo guitar, and it's always some of my favorite when you do that. So I would love to just end on hearing you play something. Sorry to put you on the spot.
Oh no, that's
but selfishly, I would
love.
That's
the spotlight I'll gladly take. I mean, the measure of any jazz guitar nerd like we are is to play some decent solo guitar. So my pleasure. It's awesome, man. I appreciate you, Justin. This is great.